I see old buddy Jamie Dimon up there, JPMorgan. Jamie, excuse me for calling you Jamie, Mr. CEO. It's good to see you. Why, from your perspective, do we need to raise the debt limit immediately before October 18th?
Mr. President, thank you. You can call me Jamie, that's fine, and appreciate you having us all here. Mr. President. Anyway, there are 5 quick points I want to make. Number 1 is really a morality point. We all teach our children that we're supposed to meet our obligations. I don't think the nation should be any different. Number 2, we should never even get this close. There are huge economic costs already being borne by companies and lawyers trying to figure out what this means if something like this ever happens. It's already affecting the stock market, et cetera, as you've heard from some of the folks here. Number 3, we should get rid of the debt ceiling. We don't need to have this kind of brinkmanship every couple of years. Number 4, an actual default. An actual default would be unprecedented. The things we know that it would do are very bad, and it could be potentially far worse. The effects would be cascading. So day 1 would be bad, but the cascading effects in the ensuing weeks could go anywhere from a recession to a complete catastrophe for the global economy. And I don't know why anyone would take a chance like that. And number 5, America's role in the world is essential. We are the bedrock. The American Treasury is the bedrock. Our credibility, we're being watched right now by our allies and unfortunately our enemies. Our credibility is absolutely essential. Trust in America and the U.S. dollar and the financial system is critical to the world economy and eventually actually world peace. So this is a time I think we should show American competence, not American incompetence.
Well, I'm glad you raised that last point because when I got back from the G7 and subsequently with a number of virtual meetings with my colleagues and heads of state, I know Brian Moynihan knows about this as well. We are not only being measured in terms of our strength and our reliability based upon the size of our military and or the physical strength that we possess, but it's on whether or not we can function. There's a great debate going on, and I'm not exaggerating this. All of you deal internationally. There's a great debate going on whether or not in the 21st century, in the second quarter of the 21st century, can democracies function with things moving so rapidly? And I can tell you, a couple of the folks I've had spent a lot of time with of late, Mr. Putin and Mr. Xi Jinping, they really believe that autocracies are the only way forward because they can act quickly and decisively. It's not a joke. And we're seeing effects of this around the world. And I don't know, it's understandable why the average American wouldn't understand what the consequences of this will be for American security and the willingness of other countries to follow our lead. We have always led the world not just by the example of our power, but the power of our example. And that's going to be called into severe question. I mean, for real. For real.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.